SimWorld presents Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
What's up, everybody? It's me, it's the B.O.B., and I'm here with my man E. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Bob. You know, I was happy to do a show with you.
As always, in on Super Bowl Sunday, too. We're about, 2.5 hours from the kickoff of the festivities, and I mean, it should be a good one, but
That's all I really want from it, Bob. Just be good. Just be good.
absolutely. Well, this is Around the Table with E and the Fat Man. That is E. I am the Fat Man. This is the podcast that we talk about whatever we want. Today, Super Bowl, 2.5 hours away. Figure everybody else has done it. So why don't we touch base on
Yep.
how we think the Super Bowl is going to go, and if we really think Mahomes is ready to overtake Brady here in the next few years, I guess.
Oh, please. Let me. You want me to go first? You want me to jump in on that? You kind of teed that up for me.
You,
Look, I'm a huge fan of Patrick Mahomes. I'm not here to speak poorly of Pat Mahomes. But look, I mean, Tom Brady. We're talking 7 rings. Am I right about that? 7 rings.
yeah, I believe
You
so.
got you got a lot of work to do. That's a lot. I mean, that's like decades of work that you still have to put in, Mr. Mahomes. So let's leave that one off. Even if you do win today, and to cut kind of to the chase, I don't see it happening. And by the way, Bob, I want to point out that on our last show, you and I both did correctly call the teams that would be winning and advancing here. We were united in San Francisco was going to knock off the Lions, and that we were going to see the Chiefs on the road as an underdog beat the Ravens. So first of all, I think little back pat. But today, and let me throw this out here. Everybody already knows I'm a big Hoosier fan. Indiana Hoosiers, college basketball. What some people don't know, and a lot of people aren't going to like, is that I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I am. And it's what it is. Deal with it. Sorry, too bad. But I have no love for the 49ers, is what I'm trying. That's the point I'm making. But I have respect for what they've built, and I just think they have a little bit more talent than Kansas City does. And I think these are two good teams. I do expect it to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But I think that San Francisco just has too much. I mean, just look on the defensive side of the ball. You've got Javon Kinlaw, you've got Drake Greenlaw, or I'm sorry, yeah, Kinlaw. You've got Bosa, you've got Chase Young there. I mean, it's just a really talented defensive front. And then, of course, on offense, Debo Samuel, CMC, Ayuk out there. I just think that they have too many weapons and a little bit too much. The one advantage that I think the Chiefs have that could come into play is that I think that Kansas City is a better coached team, which is not a slight on Kyle Shanahan. It's a compliment to Andy Reid. I think Reid is a really, really good coach. I think if there's any kind of schematic or sort of, in-game coaching advantage to be had, that will go to the Chiefs. But I think at the end of the day, players matter more than coaches. Talent wins, and talent is going to, unhappily for a Cowboys fan like myself, lead to the 49ers putting another ring up. So that's how I see it. That's my little analysis. What do you have, Bob?
I mean, when you look on paper, if you put the rosters side by side, the 49ers clearly have more talent. I would say I'd be safe. I think it's safe to say they have double the talent the Chiefs have overall.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only, really
Name
the
me, name me
only,
a Chiefs defensive star. Name me a Chiefs defensive star. They have good players, by the way. I'm not slighting the entire Chiefs defense, but they just don't have anybody that you can throw out there like a Chase Young, like a Bose. It's just not. That guy's not there.
I mean, they have Chris Jones. Chris Jones has been
Really good player.
he's been the
Really good player.
one steady player for them. But outside of that, like you said, you've mentioned Chase Young, Bosa, Greenlaw. They got Fred Warner, Eric
Would you trade
Armstead.
anyone? I didn't
It
even.
just,
You're right. I didn't even talk about Fred Warner. Oh my God. And would you trade any one of those guys for Jones? Straight up?
no, I
Probably
mean
not.
it's when you look at it. I mean, just defensive line. I mean, Chris Jones is the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line. He's their defense. And then
Mhm.
you just look at the 49ers defense, and it's from top to bottom. Just, I don't think there's a
Yep.
position on, you might be able to make an argument for corners, But other
Maybe.
than that, there's no other position on defense that I think you can say that the Kansas City Chiefs are better than the 49ers. And then when you look on
No.
offense, Patrick Mahomes is the difference. Whenever
He is.
The 49ers offense, I mean, from top to bottom, you already mentioned McCaffrey, Debo, you got Ayuk,
Yeah.
George Kittle.
Kittle. We didn't talk Kittle. That's right.
There's so much talent. Um,
Yeah. Too
and for
much.
Patrick Mahomes, as I said on SimWorld today, I believe it was on Friday morning, uh, Patrick Mahomes has turned a bunch of nobodies into somebodies.
Yeah.
So on
Yeah.
both sides of the
He
ball,
took a team to the Super Bowl that had Kadarius Toney on it. I mean, what more on a resume do you need from a guy?
I mean, when you look at, okay, we'll compare. For 49ers, you got Brock Purdy, McCaffrey, Samuel, Ayuk, Kittle. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs, Mahomes, Pacheco, Rice, Watson, Valdez Scantley.
Kelsey. Kelsey.
Kelsey
Give him
is the
Kelsey.
only
Yeah,
one where
I know.
you might be
Rice
him
is
and
good, but
Kittle.
he's a rookie.
Yeah, him and Kittle,
No,
Kelsey and Kittle are two. They're
they
in the
kind of
same
cancel each
level
other
whenever it
out.
comes to tight end.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Yep. That's right.
Mahomes has done what he's supposed to do, and he has elevated nobodies to somebodies. And
Yeah.
Brock Purdy has done what he's supposed to do, and he has made these really good players continue to look good. So
Yeah,
they've
and not
both,
turn the ball over, and
yeah,
yeah, he's very good at what he does. Actually, and Brock Purdy, I love the Brock Purdy story. You know, he's making the league minimum. He literally lives with roommates in the city of San Francisco. You know, and fair enough. Who knows where his big deal will come from. It'd be interesting to see win or lose this Super Bowl if Brock Purdy gets a deal after his initial rookie contract winds up here, or if San Francisco is just like, thanks for your service. We're going to draft somebody else now. We're
well,
going to draft J.J. McCarthy out of
the thing
Michigan.
is for Brock Purdy
Let him do
is
it.
Brock Purdy isn't a it's not like this is his one season that we've seen him play extremely well. He
No,
did play extremely well
true.
as a rookie, so this isn't a
He did.
Case Keenum going to Minnesota and going 13-3. And
Right.
it's not one of those
Right. Right.
situations like we know right now, but again, he has a ton of talent around him. If they can keep that talent
Yes.
around him, this is the Brock Purdy that we're going to consistently get. And if he can stay healthy, everything that I
Hmm.
said positive about the 49ers to say Patrick Holmes, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl.
Really, Bob. Okay.
I just,
So you're saying the better team on defense, the better team on offense is going to lose this game because of Patrick Mahomes, which is
yes,
not a crazy take. It's not
yes.
off the wall. It's not off the
I,
wall. It's just not.
I just, I can't bet against Mahomes. You do it, and he makes you pay for it. They weren't supposed to. They weren't even supposed to make the playoffs this year. I mean, it just
Wild card team.
because of that offense that they did not put together, and the defense that has been. It always seems to be a question mark. Everybody questions that Kansas City
Yeah.
defense. There's no reason that they are in the Super Bowl. There's no reason that they're 11-6, except for Patrick Mahomes elevating that offense.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
49ers, top to
I
bottom,
I
better
like
team.
this.
Hmm?
I like this, Bob. I'm just happy that we have a difference of opinion. I like that we're going different ways. Give us something to talk about on the next show too, where we reveal who was right and who was wrong. Fairly short one today. The Super Bowl is the topic. This is the meat of the discussion. I think maybe we can kind of close ranks here. Let's throw out a final score prediction. So I know
Ooh,
what team you got winning. What do you see the final score being, Bob?
oof. I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna go with a low scoring. Oh man, I think I'm gonna go 17-14.
Wow, that low. All right. I actually think this game is going to be relatively low scoring as well. It's not going to be offensive fireworks. It's not, I don't think it's going to be like 38-35 or something like that. Not quite as low scoring as you have it though. I am going to give it to the 49ers 27-17. 27-17 final score prediction. So we both have the 17 in there.
It's just that's
And
my
actually,
high
for the
score.
same
That's your
team,
low
we
score for
both
what?
have Kansas City. We both have Kansas City scoring 17 points. Just a matter
No,
of how many the Niners will score. We'll prove who's right and wrong. I
yeah.
like
I
it.
mean, again, it's probably not going to be as low scoring as I said. I think your score is probably the
Eh,
safer bet.
who knows?
I think the biggest question mark is how many times is Taylor Swift going to be cut to during that game?
Hey, as many as they need to. I love it. Personally, I'm a fan of it. This is the best sort of sports and celebrity pairing since Joe DiMaggio was dating Marilyn Monroe. And it is almost as big as that, too. It really kind of almost is as big as that, the Kelsey Swift thing. Swift is certainly as big as Monroe ever was. Um, and that was a big cultural thing that,
Oh yeah,
I mean, how long have those people been dead and how long ago was that? And you still know about
yeah,
Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio hooking up. This is that big. I think it's great for the sport, brings a lot of people into it. My wife usually watches the Super Bowl, yes, but she's going to be a little bit more tuned in this year. Just kind of is. It brings this culturally current moment into it. I find the backlash to it weird and unnecessary. It doesn't matter if you like her or like her music or not or whatever. She's a huge star. It's the world's biggest stage.
yeah.
Come on, go ahead and jump on this bandwagon. Get with it. And I'm sorry her team and her boyfriend has to lose, but that's the way it's going to go. And Bob's wrong.
Hey, it brings the money in, right? That's what matters. The NFL at
Brings
the
the
end of the
fans,
day,
brings the eyes.
they're a business at the end of
Brings
the
a whole new
day.
generation.
Yeah,
Brings a new generation of women into the game. Love it. That's great. Nothing wrong with it.
absolutely. Well, E, I appreciate you as always. You got any final words for the people?
No, enjoy the game. I got to go work on like a cheese and cracker plate and maybe get some Italian sausage or something up here. So I got to go do some stuff. You probably do too. Everybody out there, enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. And remember that SimWorld TV is coming back on the air, and that's going to be Tuesday the 13th, right before Valentine's Day.
What's that big game, E? What's the big game?
Oh, big game, big game. I know it's not the one I'm calling. I call the game after it, but the big game is Heartland and Gulf Coast.
Mm.
Heartland Zombie Stars, Gulf Coast Lockdown. You got a great matchup coming in here. Two really good teams. That should be entertaining. 8 o'clock Eastern, Tuesday the 13th, only on SimWorld TV.
Well, I appreciate you, E, as always, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Sunday and enjoy that Super Bowl.
See you, folks.